This next skill on how to invite cooperation is one that I use many times in each and every day. In fact, Kaylin is so familiar with it, she even uses it on her friends and also back on us. And even though I know what she is doing, it still works on me because it's an empowering skill. It's what I call setting the boundary and giving two empowering choices within that boundary. Honey, it's bath time now. There's the boundary. Would you like some blue bubbles or red bubbles? And there are the two choices. Jason, time to get dressed now. Would you like your blue pants or your brown pants today? Melissa, the household chores need to be finished by the end of the day. Would you prefer to do them this morning or perhaps later on this afternoon after lunch? And here is why this is such a clever skill and works in nearly all situations. Whenever any person is offered a choice, they experience a certain degree of autonomy. If you are offered a choice, you are given the opportunity to make a decision that directly impacts you and your life. No matter how small the choice is, it is still a liberating feeling opposed to feeling restricted to do the thing that you have to do. In making a choice, a child asserts their own will on the situation. They choose the one way opposed to the other. In making a choice, they feel more empowered. Therefore, they spend more time and energy on deciding what they want, opposed to fighting with you about it. I want to say that again, because this is where the magic lies. They spend more time and energy on deciding what to choose, instead of fighting you about the boundary in the first place. When a child is told what to do, they feel backed into a corner, and if they agree to do what you told them to, then at that time it can feel like they are losing face or giving in to you. The moment they also have the power to decide on something, it is as though they can retain their pride by still doing what they want to, even if it still falls within the boundary that you set. The most important thing about giving choices is to see that this is not about giving a choice on whether the boundary stays or goes, but rather about what to do within the boundary you are setting. I would like to expand a bit on our understanding of this skill. The choices you offer need to be empowering choices. Here is an example of a choice that backs a child into the corner, opposed to motivating them to do what you need them to do. Michelle, it's time to pack away the toys. Either you can pack away your toys neatly, or I will take them away for a week. You decide. This is actually more of an ultimatum than an empowering choice, and calls forth an attack more than it engages cooperation. A more helpful response would be an empowering choice. Michelle, it's time to pack away the toys. Would you prefer to start with the dolls in the bed, or perhaps the pencils on your desk? And remember that although you may be thinking quickly on your feet for those empowering choices, they must fall within the boundary you are setting. You might not get the result you're wanting if you say, honey, it's time to pack away now. Would you prefer to have a bath now, or start with the pencils on the desk? Examples of adapting the skill across different age ranges. Sometimes it can be difficult for us to see how the skill can be adapted to children of different ages. So to help you get your head around this, here are some examples. Let's take, for example, the age range between 3 and 7, and you're needing to leave from a play date. Honey, we need to go in 5 minutes. Would you and your friend like one more time with the bike, or would you prefer a last turn with the toys? Or, if you have to leave right away, honey, we need to leave now. Would you prefer to say goodbye here in the house, or when we are by the car? Maybe your child is between the ages of 7 and 12, and you're wanting them to eat at the table. Susie, it's supper time. Come to the table, please. Would you prefer to sit here next to me, or perhaps there next to Dad? Maybe your child is between the ages of 12 and 18, and you're needing them to do the household chores. Patrick, our household chores need to be completed by the end of the day. Would you prefer to start with your room first, or perhaps the cleaning of the rubbish might be easier? And this one comes up so often in my workshops. Let's see if this helps you. Picking your teenager up from a friend's party late in the evening. Patrick, I will be picking you up from your party later this evening, and I know you prefer that your friends don't see me. Would you like me to pick you up down the road from the party, or perhaps from one of your friends' homes later on? By using the skill, Your children will experience that you are not just thinking of what you need, but that you are also considerate of how to make this work for them as well. By giving them empowering choices, they will experience that you are not just there to control them or to make their life miserable. You can read some more stories from other parents on how they have used the skill successfully and see their video sharings by looking through the supplemental materials.